Hey guys, welcome to This Is Not a Date podcast. I'm Keith.
I'm Jade.
And I'm Callison.
In this episode, lots of things happened.
Bennett gets sent home.
Then we have Ben on the 101, which is a scavenger hunt. And then we have the group date, and that's a lie detector test.
And lastly, Bennett comes back.
Dun, dun, dun.
Let's get into it.
So let's start off and talk about the 2-on-1. What did you guys think about that?
I was really hoping that Tayshia would have went inside the box.
Me
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Gosh, and like have him explain. I just wanted her to push a little bit more.
The last
Yeah.
episode, they started with, what's in the box?
Yeah.
And this episode,
What's in the box?
She
Let
doesn't
it
care.
go. She lets it go.
She said, "Oh, there's a box." Yep,
And
that's what it was.
then Bennett, I think it was Bennett. Was it Bennett or Noah who explained it? Where it was like, yeah, it's just some gifts that I gave.
Later, later
I
Noah
gave
explained.
Noah.
Just some casual gifts.
Yeah, no, then it said casual gifts. Then Noah explained it later
Yeah.
when it got like hot and heavy.
Yeah.
Not hot and heavy, but
So Bennett gets pulled first, and apparently he's seen things that Tasia has not caught on to yet, and that he wants to let her know what's going on.
Yeah, and
But
I
does
think
he explain?
yeah, he goes into emotional intelligence and
Oh,
stuff.
right. I forget about that.
basically does the same spiel he gave to Ben,
Yeah.
the same wording.
But he talks
I'm
very
just trying to
calmly
love
about
you
it.
up.
Yeah.
That's the.
Hello.
He said it to both of them.
Let me tell you
It's
about
cringe.
emotional
Yeah.
intelligence.
So far more important to me than IQ is EQ.
You're lacking.
We all
three
know
of the
it's
four.
just so ironic with Bennett because so clearly he is lacking in more than 3 of the 4. I mean, he doesn't know what's going on.
I have
so.
absolutely nothing against Noah. It's just, let's talk about emotional intelligence.
The 4 competencies of EQ are self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management.
That's his thing. He doesn't argue. He just talks.
Yeah.
But you can tell he has a really good way of like undermining and downplaying things and making me feel comfortable and that it's okay.
And then getting out of
she
trouble.
did that whenever she was with, he was with Tasha.
Yeah, he kind
Did
of
it
like
really well.
fooled me.
He
when
fooled me
was
too. I was like,
watching
you know
it.
what? I forgive you.
I know. I was like, oh, he's kind of a nice guy.
He's very good at doing that.
From the moment Noah has gotten here, I've witnessed deficiencies in 3 of the 4.
And then we see Noah and
Well, wait, back up.
Back up.
yeah.
So, did you notice that when they went off into that room, they could still see Noah?
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
and
that was really weird.
That was so awkward. He's just sitting there like watching
He's like,
him like
they could totally hear
Yeah.
hear the conversation.
I'm sure, if I had to guess, they could probably see them for like 30 seconds or so. I'm guessing that's the same exact time they also take the guys away and do a little interview. They do a little
Maybe.
thing.
Maybe.
About like, how's
But
the
they just wanted
situation
to show
going?
how awkward it was.
And then Noah's like, yeah, I got this. Or Bennett's like, yeah, there's no way I'm going home.
Yeah.
That's probably the same moment they're telling their talk. So
That's true.
even though it looks like they're staring at them the entire time.
yeah. But
But that's just, who knows? I don't know. But it is kind of weird how close they were together. They didn't close the door.
Yeah.
It's just kind of all exposed.
yeah.
But Tasia kind of called him out for questioning her integrity,
Oh, yeah, I
which
guess.
was a big topic.
She's really into that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it means a
Questioning
lot
the
to her.
integrity.
And you know what? She's so good at explaining things. Like she's so articulate, especially this episode. I just love her voice. I love the way she is so intelligent and can process all this really with a lot of logic. And you don't see a lot of bachelorettes doing that in the past. And she's one of my favorites for that reason.
I think
she's
I would
very
just,
smart.
I wouldn't be able to do what she's doing. I would just kind of like talk less and just send people home.
Yeah. That's on you.
Okay, bye.
I got a
Can't
weird
handle
vibe.
this conflict.
Yeah.
Both of you. Bye-bye.
So they both kind of give their sides of the story.
Yeah, but Noah had a good conversation with her too.
Yeah.
So I could see like where she kind of struggled
Exactly.
with like, who do I send home?
But Noah, yeah, you're right. Noah said all the right things in that conversation.
Sorry to cut you off,
Yeah,
but
it's
I was
fine.
thinking he was going to like dig himself a grave,
Yeah,
essentially.
you thought so, but
at that point, but
Yeah.
he
did
didn't.
well.
Yeah.
He did well, and he was very raw and he was real about it. And I think that showed up to
Yeah.
her, and it showed up to us.
Yeah. So, I mean, she ends up sending Bennett home.
Bennett gets sent home.
Unfortunately, I can't give you this rose.
Yeah, and did you see how awkward it was when he was
was
leaving?
Yeah.
so
And I
awkward.
said this before, but she has very awkward like sending, like
Send off energy.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Like the way that they leave is always like, okay, bye.
Can I walk you out, please?
Wow. Sure.
Yeah.
And it's like
that's
super
the end.
blunt, and then Bennett's like trying to look at her like, well, why?
Like, what the heck? What the heck?
This
Yeah.
was
He was
very
shocked.
Yeah.
unexpected.
Yeah.
And he does like he like stops and
Yeah,
like,
it stops in
He
the
like wants to have a
in the path.
conversation, and he's like,
Wow. I'm shocked.
do I stop here? Like
Yeah.
this
He
is
was
just
so
happening so
confident.
quickly. But
No wonder he comes back later. Okay, so after that, are we done talking about that? little shindig?
probably.
Yeah.
it's kind of quick. It
Yeah.
was just like in and out.
Yeah.
And she's like, this is a good
Okay,
Tic
yeah.
Tac?
The Tic Tac.
Tic-Tac.
Yeah, that's the one thing that we forgot to. Oh,
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. After Bennett gets sent home,
so
Tasha comes back in.
And he
Noah's
sits
like downing.
down
He's
in
ready
some
for Tasha.
Tic-Tacs.
He's ready.
He
Downs the
was
Tic Tacs.
Yes. He's like swallowed them all.
We're gonna
like,
make
didn't
out
even
now.
get the.
Yeah. But Tasha's not having.
And he's
This is
smiling.
not a happy moment.
Yeah, this is
Do you think
how-
when he was walking like to the date, they were like rattling in his pocket?
Interesting.
TikToks are kind of loud.
They are
Oh, they
TikToks.
do. They rattle.
TikTok.
Tic Tacs are
I
kind
used
of
to do
loud.
the same thing though. Like middle school, that was my thing. I just like straight down them. But that was funny.
I think we had the Altoids.
Oh yeah.
And
Those,
then
like,
there's
rock-
also like the really weird like the paper ones, the little paper like fresh breath mints.
Oh yes,
that you
yes.
like-
Those,
dissolve in your
burn
tongue.
like a mother.
And it was like
Those
regrettable every time you had
hurt.
one.
Okay, so that was the last thing. He was smiling. She said, "Don't smile. This is serious." The Tic Tac thing, and then we flipped to the cocktail party.
Yes.
So, that was. They didn't really have the cocktail party.
Did
because they
anything
the
stick out to
two-in-one.
you?
What was that?
Did anything like stand out to you in the cocktail party?
It was quick. It wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have any conversations.
All I know is like I think Ed said not much of the guys had much time to talk to her.
Yes, yeah. They didn't show any of the conversations. So I think it
Yeah.
really did just get canceled, and the 2-in-1 replaced the cocktail party, like they said it was.
There were
last
some guys who got
episode.
some conversations.
Yeah,
but
Maybe.
Well, Noah didn't get the rose, so he had to go back into.
Yeah, he didn't actually try to steal any time though, which was nice of
Yeah.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I think ultimately like gave him. Because then Tasha's like, oh, he's not like trying to overwhelm me or like trying to get the
But-
rose.
He's not
But Tasha loves a guy who shows
makes
up.
the effort.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
The more aggressive,
probably
the better,
thought about
apparently,
it,
with
yeah.
Tasha.
So, very short cocktail party, and then we have
well,
the rest.
Riley steals her first, which I thought was interesting.
Oh,
I don't
yeah, I
think he's
thought that
ever
was
like
good,
stepped
too.
forward before.
Yeah.
But he's growing on me, and I
Really?
really like can see them together when they were like walking. I was like, oh, they look cute together.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ben and Tasha were like kissing by the fountain. They were just
I
like
don't- I
it
don't
was just
remember
like
when
all of a
that
sudden
was.
it was them
It didn't
two, and
stick
they were
out to
just
me.
they were just like making out.
That was their conversation.
Yes, it was like there was no like words
learned a lot about
exchanged
each
We'll go
other.
into that later.
before.
But I love Ben and her together.
I do too.
Ben is just the sweetest little thing.
So a couple guys get sent home though.
Yeah. So roast
Yeah.
ceremony.
We're at the roast
Guys get
ceremony.
sent home. Ed
We saw
finally
JoJo.
goes.
Huh?
We saw JoJo.
We saw
We saw
JoJo.
JoJo.
Yeah, she
JoJo's the
looked
new Chris.
amazing.
She always looks great.
Shout out.
Awesome.
Shout out JoJo.
Love her.
And yeah, Ed gets sent home.
Ed finally.
Is it
and
Damar?
Damar, I believe. Spencer.
You know, I was starting to like
Spencer.
Spencer.
I was too.
He
was
had a
warming
really
up to
bad
me,
first
yeah.
impression, but like I saw that he was getting along with the guys really well.
Yeah,
at
and that
the
was
end
his big
there.
problem at the beginning.
And I think he just had a bad first impression.
Yeah.
And I had high hopes for him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yep.
He got sent home. Disappointing. But he
home.
kind of did seem to lose energy, though.
There was not a lot of time
I don't think
with
they were
him,
connecting
and
to each other.
He was just kind of there for the fun.
Yeah, he lost
Yeah.
momentum, and I guess,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think he was ever really there for the romance. I think going back a few episodes when we were commentating on like the words he used in regards to like I'm gonna win this, I'm gonna like win, like just it was all winning competitive mentality and wording.
I don't know. I feel like he did mention in a past episode that Bennett was good at talking down to people.
Yeah.
So I think maybe his people got to him.
Maybe.
And he started having lower self-esteem that
You
maybe
think?
he wasn't the right person.
I
I
wouldn't think that
I think he really is, the
Spencer in
people
the
got
first
to
few
him.
episodes. but
Yeah.
Maybe
And-
that's what happened.
But it's weird that he made such a bad first impression, but he got the first impression rose.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
bad first impression with the guys.
Yeah, that's true.
Great first impression with Tasha.
So JoJo comes in the next day, and she kind of explains that this is a really important week because this is the week before hometowns.
Yeah.
So, and this was which is the week that JoJo said that her and her fiance, or she knew that she was falling in love with her fiance, who she actually is still together with. So this is a very important week, and she kind of like reiterates that to the guys. She leaves the date cards, and Ben gets the one-on-one, the first one-on-one.
Yeah.
Or not he just gets the one-on-one.
Yeah, the one-on-one of the episode.
And they kind of like start talking about family a little bit, and then Zach just breaks down out of nowhere. Zach. Zach.
But are you talking about on the one-on-one? Or are you?
No. So Ben gets a one-on-one, and then they're all sitting around, and they're talking about their family and like how they're really excited for her to meet their families.
Yeah.
And Zach
Then
just
Zach
like breaks down and starts crying out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, his family must mean a lot to him, so this is a big week for him.
Yeah, it must be really intense for all of them. You know, families very important for most people.
But the date is a scavenger hunt.
That was fun.
They go on scooters.
Yeah. Go on scooters.
What else exactly happens? They're on scooters. They go around. They go around.
Read some clues.
They either had like a really like strong stick to hit that pinata with, or like they're just really good at breaking those pinatas.
Did you see her form? Her form was
because
she
like,
must have played either golf or baseball or softball. That's
Have you guys ever like done a pinata? Like, I'm really bad at like breaking that.
Yeah. Aren't they meant to like be hit multiple times?
Yeah,
so
and there's like one hit.
Yeah. She like just split them things in half.
She didn't just like whack it. She like full baseball bat or softball bat, or whatever.
They must be like give like a metal rod to hit it with.
Oh
or something.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But
after the scavenger hunt, they have that really, really sweet moment, I think, where Ben finally, not finally, he opened up a little bit before about his bulimia and his struggle for the past 10 years. So we know he's got some depth and some struggles. But another thing he opened up about was the fact that he attempted to take his own life in 2018 and 2019.
Yeah, not once but twice, which is...
Not once but twice, yes.
That's awful.
Really, really hard. But the fact that he just revealed that to her and let her in on his struggles. And I think it just came from a simple a simple question that Tayshia asked him about his relationship with his sister. And that's how he came to expose that.
Yeah, and his sister doesn't even know.
His sister doesn't know, but that she was the reason that he stuck around.
Yeah.
And he's doing a lot better now. We know that. And he's been doing some intensive therapy and working through that. But I just love that he opened up about it. And I don't think she could get rid of him at this point with that much. No,
you cannot.
I don't
think she was going to get rid of him either way. Because I think
she's
really into him.
You're right. But that's just the... Not cherry on top. I don't know if I should equate that to that, but it meant a lot to her. And it meant a lot to the whole everybody probably that is watching that he would be so open. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you know what that means?
What?
We're gonna go see his hometown.
Yes, that's true.
Hypothetically, or are we? How is it gonna work during COVID? You know?
Oh yeah, that's true. Maybe that's
so. What does hometowns really mean?
Are they quarantining?
I don't know.
Are they going to be wearing masks?
I don't know what hometowns mean.
Out.
Does hometowns mean their family's going to come to them? They've already been quarantining these people?
Maybe.
Or are we actually going to their home state?
Hometowns.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting.
We didn't get like
We get no preview of that.
No preview.
Suspicious, right?
That's super weird.
I'm just going to back up like 3 feet for a second.
Okay.
They're in the scavenger hunt. They're in the tennis court. And they had a pool full of tennis balls, okay? You think that they're like kind of push them around trying to find the note, but they just dump it. And I just feel bad for the guys to pick all those things up.
That and when Ben like ripped apart the last penny, I was like, cheater.
Oh yeah,
cheater.
She was like,
funny.
oh, okay. I thought we were.
So after the one-on-one, do you remember what happens in between, Jade?
So it kind of, I think it goes back to the guys that opening the group date card, and then they find out who's going to be on the next one-on-one, which is like, don't want to see that one-on-one date.
Yeah, wait, who got the next one-on-one date?
Blake.
Okay, but who's on the group date?
Noah, Zach, Ivan, Riley, and Brendan.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was lie detector themed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Also suspicious of the lie detector, but let's get into it. What was the first thing that happened? They showed up at the lie detector thing. JoJo's there.
And she
is the
demonstrates
person.
first.
JoJo's the person who kind of runs the entire date, right?
Yeah.
There is no
Just like a
third
Chris
party,
Harrison.
because sometimes there's usually like an expert, you know.
Yeah.
There would be like, I'm a police or something like that. I'm gonna run this lie detector
Yeah.
test. But it was just like, hey, I'm JoJo. I'm the expert with the lie detector.
Apparently.
The all in one.
Yeah.
And so she starts it out. I don't think any of them were like really jazzed to be on that lie detector date after knowing it was a lie detector date. But she started it off and she did it herself. And she disclosed that she was falling in love already and that she was not only falling in love, but falling in love with multiple guys. So that was kind of good insight to see that was a truth, that she's really, that's really how she's feeling right now. But we have a lot more drama whenever it comes to the lie detector test, with including names with Riley. His name.
What's his name?
Yes.
We do learn.
That was the weirdest thing.
I didn't know if they would even like cover it. I thought it was just one of those false truths, and we find out later.
What is your name?
Devin, Riley, Christian.
So that with Riley, we find out that Zach had cheated before.
Yeah.
Have you ever cheated on someone?
Yes.
And what were the other big things you guys remember?
Something about love, I think, was thrown in there.
And people not being ready, quite ready for
Or meeting your family or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to back up to the second for the initial reaction of myself to this lie detector test. And they had like the MacBook with like the little heartbeat thing going on.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is legit. Here's a little graphic of a heartbeat.
So fake.
We had this little box, super high-tech box with 3 light bulbs of different colors. Like, this is some high-tech lie detector test. And do you think this was like a legit lie detector test?
Yeah, 100%.
My opinion. Here's my opinion. I'm just going to say this is a fake lie detector test, okay? But they have all the answers pre-vetted beforehand. So, for example, they already knew that Riley's name wasn't actually Riley. They already had the guys do a little answer, probably a little fill in the blank form beforehand. So they already know all the answers, but the answers they don't actually know the answer to, those have an orange. So like, that's the medium ground.
Oh,
Kinda
maybe.
thing. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't trust lie detector tests. I kind of find them sketchy.
They're crazy.
Riley, you might be used to this. You ever do this to your clients?
I refuse to let them. They're not always accurate.
Did they do the chest thing?
They had a
around?
finger thing on, and they had a chest thing, but it was like
Yeah.
over their shirt. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's just heartbeat though, so it doesn't really matter that much.
Interesting.
I think, or I think it's pulse based. I'm not quite sure how they work, but they're suspicious. I just don't like how it's like, if it says you lied, you lied.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's no
There's no
gray zone.
contesting it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, well, I guess
Yeah.
since it said it was, so I must be, since it's like a piece of technology. But anyways, let's move on to the rest of the day. That's my rant.
So there was one question they asked Tasia, and it was, do you regret sending anybody home? And she said yes.
That was important. Yes.
So
and
Bennett?
everyone was like, Bennett.
we're like, I think Brendan
One of the
turned
guys
to
said
Noah
that.
and was
Noah
like,
said
Bennett.
Yeah. That was important.
But the whole reason behind this date was because apparently trust is everything to Tasia, and that's like a big factor that she wants in a relationship.
So she should get a lie detector test in
Yeah.
her household?
Yeah, exactly. Once a month they do it together. So I guess some of these questions were kind of like a conversation starter for the post group date or cocktail party kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because Tasia brought up to Zach, she's like, I want to talk to you about the cheating thing. And it's kind of smart on Jack's part. I mean, what?
Zach. Who is this Jack?
Jack. Oh my gosh.
Zach.
Zach, what did he do? I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Cheated.
Cheated.
He cheated.
But he made up a fun story.
Yeah, so
It
he
seems
like,
so
But we need to
intense
know
at
if the lie detector, we gotta have him back in the lie detector test to see
Yeah,
if that
we
story
need-
was
Yeah,
even a
exactly.
true
That wasn't
story.
verified.
he's just trying to like cover himself.
Yeah.
That's a good cover-up story, though.
But he did a really good at passing off. At first I was like, oh, this is done. She's like, I won't date a cheater.
Yeah,
And I was
then,
like, oh, he's gone then.
oh yeah, that's awkward.
And then he was able to explain.
But Tasia ends up telling Zach after the fact that she's falling in love with him,
yeah.
which is the first guy that she's told that to, right?
We also need to get her in the lie detector test for that one.
It's not so first, maybe that she told she was falling in love with. Oh, we have to go back.
Okay, let's go
back. Ben on the 101, she says, not to him, but to us, she says, there's no doubt I love Ben. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, moving back to the lie detector test.
Yeah, back to the lie detector test, but
I just had a thought for the lie detector test.
Loves.
So if the lie detector test is mostly based off like pulse and like your heart rate kind of thing, I think it's, I don't know, feel free to correct me in the comments. But if it's based off pulse rate or heart rate kind of thing, my phone literally has like a heart rate monitor, a little sensor pad thing on it, you know?
Yeah.
So couldn't my phone technically have a little lie detector
they probably
app?
have one of those fake apps for it. Well, not fake apps, but you probably need a little bit more to like, I don't know. They do.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like when you send a text message to someone, have like your lie detector test app.
It's like, is it the truth or is
verified truth?
Are you actually on your way right now?
Verified.
Or have you not left?
They're never on their way.
Yeah, 100%. So good conversations. The first one was with Zach. Zach and Tayshia says, I'm falling in love with you at the end of all the drama with the cheating and getting through that. And then finding out it was in 6th grade that he had actually cheated and it was this thing at the Bolorama or something.
Oh, yeah.
Some funny story.
And I later met up with that girl at a bowling alley, a Bolorama, and I French kissed her while I was still dating Emmy. Oh, my first girlfriend in 6th grade.
And then we flashed to Riley and her, and finally discussing the root of why his name is not really his name, or that he changed his name. And went into pretty deep detail about his past with that. What did you guys think of that story that he said? I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, he had a broken family, and but he reconsolidated with his mother. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Reconciled?
Reconsolidated. Nope.
But he reconciled with his mother, and he decided rekindled the relationship.
Yes,
with his mother.
So he decided that he just wants to change his name.
Yeah,
cool.
So we find that out about him, and then as was she leaving the group date?
Oh, she left. She's done.
She doesn't give out the rose.
Oh
yeah, she definitely gives out. That's another big thing.
And this is happening way too often in the group dates because she has such good conversations with these guys, she can't decide.
Yeah.
And I'd be pissed.
You're all winners.
Like, are you kidding me?
But it's
But this is like
I understand why she did it.
This rose though goes to the person who she wants to meet the family of.
Oh, right.
So there's more pressure on this rose.
Sorry, I take it back.
Yes.
This is more pressure on this rose for sure.
Okay,
But it is a common theme with Tayshia.
Okay, I take it
Okay,
back.
are we ready for the dramatic moment?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So she goes out and she walks. She's going through this gate. It looks like
Really aggressive gate.
a really aggressive gate that hits her. And you just see the camera's on her, and you see her expression, and she's like, "What are you doing here?" And then we see Mr. Bennett.
Hi. Can we speak for a minute?
Yeah.
But she's not like upset.
She's not upset. She's almost happy.
She's kind of happy.
She's like you can tell she had thought about it, and that's why she probably answered the question that you were talking about at the lie detector test of why do you regret sending someone home. You could tell in her face she was like, "Thank you for she was happy about it." And so they go back to her place. She didn't tidy up. I think she had like one thing on the table. And Bennett again does a really good job
At talking.
at talking and easing her nerves and making her feel wanted and special, and tells her that he loves her, which meant everything to her because she hadn't heard those words. Actual, I love you.
And I realized in that moment that I love you.
And forever.
But if that was me in her position, I'd be like, I just sent you home, and you're gonna come back and tell me that you love me. Why didn't you tell me that
then?
Yeah. But then again, he's like, I didn't realize.
She likes
till I
those
left.
romantic moments and those romantic gestures, though. I think that's probably the best thing he could have done and hit for him, not for her. I don't think he's right for her, but he did a really good job of convincing her. And the episode left off with her sending him back, and her saying, "I need to think, and I need to make a decision."
Yeah, I just think Bennett's super creepy. Like everything he says is like,
he's so cringy. He's so cringy.
It's so surreal.
His
and our
words.
goodbye was so surreal, and I didn't realize
Yeah.
until now that I love you, Tasia.
Yeah,
He
but
talks like
imagine
he's on a TV show.
it's
And he is on a
easy for
TV
us to
show,
think
but-
it's cringy, like looking from our perspective. But if you were the girl and you're like someone into this guy, you'd be like,
That's what I was saying. If I was in her shoes, I would.
But since
done
we're
the same
seeing from
thing.
the outside and
Yeah.
we're like,
That's
don't
exactly-
do it, don't do it.
Okay.
But
That's
if it's,
exactly how I
Take it
feel.
back.
but they don't need to take nothing. Don't take nothing back.
Yeah. But
I still think he's creepy. I probably.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
so
he's gonna dislike this video now.
whatever.
yeah, he's gonna downvote us. That's that one downvote we get every once in a while. It's just people that we talk crap about. Please don't downvote us. So what do you guys think? Do you think that she will end up taking him back?
Yes,
No.
because he's
Taking him
we
back
saw
on
previews
the
in the next
show.
episode.
Oh, I thought you meant like in the end.
winning,
Yeah.
but or
Yeah.
yeah. I'm disappointed in the way the previews are being done on the
Presented,
show.
yes, yeah.
Because the previews, like, there's always a cliffhanger, and the cliffhanger is always like fulfilled with the previews.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, what are you guys
Yeah.
doing with these previews?
What are you doing?
Spoiling your cliffhanger.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's just about it for this episode, isn't it?
So,
I think Bennett should write a book about emotional intelligence.
I think
should.
you're
Be a
right.
best-selling author.
Yep. I don't think anyone's gonna buy his books now after
They
watching
would.
this.
They'd still buy it.
Just for entertainment purposes, just to see what he has to say.
Yeah.
certificate in emotional
I think
intelligence.
that Bennett,
Oh, a class.
Bennett, and what's the other girl? Taylor. On the other, was it Taylor?
Taylor.
Yeah,
and
we-
Corinne.
That brought up, yeah, Taylor and Corinne. Taylor and Bennett need to get together because
Yeah.
they both apparently have very high emotional
You know
intelligence.
what?
What?
I don't think Bennett's going to end up with Tasia. So I think Bennett will be in paradise, and I think Taylor should come.
That's what I was saying.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
they
They would be perfect because they
And-
both have high emotional intelligence. Yeah.
And I bet like the producers have already thought about
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, and they'll just be
scheming
giving themselves
already.
advice about like how to raise their intelligence even more.
Yeah.
You're so intelligent. No, you're so intelligent. But I think if we did this, we can become even more intelligent
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. Rise above the rest. Yeah.
They try to do like a morning group date sponsored by the emotional intelligent group.
Emotional
And then
intelligence
they
book,
try
yeah.
to teach everyone in paradise
That's
more
really
about.
funny. Gather around as they're doing
Please learn
face
from us.
masks.
They're
and yoga.
handing out flyers. Hey, attend tomorrow's meeting.
It's so important. I just want to love you up. Well, that's about it for this episode. So don't forget to catch us next week for episode 10 of the Bachelorette recap.
And also follow us on Instagram at This Is Not a Podcast.
And you can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and pretty
All-
much
all the
all
places.
all the places.
Thanks so much.
Hi. Can we speak for a minute?
Yeah.
Much for watching.
Bye.
Bye.